good. We good. Perfect. All right. So like I said, I see we got people in from Atlanta, Georgia. We got Jacksonville, Florida. We got Fort Payne, Alabama. We got Clearwater, Florida. We got Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Hey, what's up, cuz? We got Rochester, New York. We got North Carolina in the building. We got St. Louis in the building. We got people from Cali, the Bay Area. What's going on? What's going on? Everybody's good to see and be in front of you all here today. Tampa, New Jersey. We got people all over. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. What we're going to talk about today is the skills, right? We're going to go ahead and give you the skills, give you everything that you need to really take this thing to the next level, because, you know, it's cool to come to the calls. It's cool to show up, but we want to make sure that you're getting results along the way. We want to make sure that you have everything you need to truly take this thing to the next level, right? So I actually want to start with a video. I want to go ahead and start this thing off with a video that I feel is super, super powerful, right? And once we get through this, we're going to go ahead and hop into this information. So let me do it right here. Get this queued up. Here it is. I want the short version of this, not the long version. Not the long version. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, it just, here we go. Title on short version. The how. Okay, cool. This will actually have to do. So I'm gonna hit play and we're gonna rock with.
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This sentence is grammatically correct.
Y'all know YouTube love to put they love to put ads on here. All right, cool. We're good to go. Share.
I just thought about like how crazy this is, how this is like the beginning of the new world. This is the story that changed the course of history forever today.
The final frontier.
Yes,
the last stand. Town hall for creativity.
Yes,
with the most powerful. Right, inspired.
Very inspired. Every great movement started with a group of people being able to get together and really just make a stand.
Everyone here is, you know, that term icons, but we all at one point were in love with music. You can't make it to where what we've accomplished without having that love of music be the foundation. I think it's one of the things that sets us aside from someone that's a tech company that's selling advertisement or selling hardware. Right now they're writing a story for us. We need to write the story for ourselves.
If the fans can see that it's from us, that's so important. It's done. This collaboration feels so egoless. Everybody's having a conversation. We really do have an opportunity to change the way we all experience art.
We're going to come together and we're going to take a stand and we're going to give people quality and great things and great experiences.
You know, we'll push the things that happen on the internet further along.
This is really musicians making music, and it's about music, and there's no end game.
Maybe it sounds like a cliche, but it's about putting art back into the forefront. It's about bringing humanity back to being an artist, not technology art, human art.
I spoke to a lot of different people outside of the industry, and everyone was like, what took so long? Like, this thing was the thing that everyone wanted and everyone feared. If these artists can sit in a room together, the game changes forever. And it happened today.
All right, let's go ahead and get this thing started. So for those that don't know, if somehow you don't know what Tidal is by now, then Tidal is Jay-Z's music streaming service, right? But there's something that's unique about what happened there, right? We're going to talk about the skills, right? We're going to talk about the things that you need to do. But they said they got all those people in the room. So the first thing he had to do before he launched his company, before he launched his streaming service, was what? He had to get people in a room. The first thing he did was get people in a room. Drop a number 1 in the chat if you want to launch your business, right? Again, this is Just Run IBO call. I want to see who's ready to launch, right? Okay, we got some people that's ready to launch, that's ready to relaunch. Okay, cool. So the first thing, in order to launch, you got to be able to get people in the room, right? Now, Once he got the individuals in the room, he had a plan already in place, right? He didn't bring them there to tell him, well, look, guys, I got an idea about something that's really amazing. I don't really know how it's gonna work, but he already had the plan for how he was going to go about what it was that he did. He already went through that process. Now, when we look at what it is that we do, what do we have? We already have a blueprint for success. So you're not bringing somebody to something where you don't know how they're going to win, because you know how you're going to win, right? You might not know how to win right now, but you have a blueprint for how you're going to win. Tidal didn't have success before he brought them there, but he had a blueprint for how he wanted to have success, and he had to get the people that he wanted to have success with. Did every single person join on? No, right? Every person didn't say yes. Every person didn't, latch on to that idea, right? When they released it to the world, right? I even remember hearing about it. I'm like, I love Jay-Z. This is the time I'm broke. I think I was a college student at the time, or maybe in grad school at the time. I said, I would love to support you. But I also know that this Apple Music subscription right here, this thing includes a lot more music for the price that I'm paying right now. And look, I support you, but I ain't in that room, right? So you got people like me that didn't support it. I hopped on a free trial, but I didn't have the money, or so I thought, to go ahead and support them, right? So you got to ask yourself and understand that not everybody gonna support you in the beginning. They even might like you, but that don't mean they gonna spend money with you, right? Then he had to do what? He had to go get some partnerships after that. So he got partnerships with different companies, partnerships with different industries, where that made what he was doing more reputable, right? People that normally wouldn't support him now had incentive to support him because of what he was doing. Who's going to support you based on the alliances that you currently have? Sometimes you got to go out there and get some alliances. You got to get some people in your corner so other people will want to support you. People that weren't going to support you in the first place, but they're like, oh, you're on this. You're partnered with who? I remember when I first got started, it was a gentleman. I was out, I think I was in DC. I was traveling, and it was a guy connected to on the internet. And we were talking. I showed him the information, showed him the plan, and he wasn't necessarily interested in what we were doing because he didn't really understand it. But what stood out to him was the partnerships that I had. Right? What was the partnerships? We talked about not the how, we talked about the community. I asked him what he was doing for personal development. I mentioned one of the, he said he's into reading, he's into listening to audios, things like that. I said, well, look, even if you're not doing this, make sure you're listening. Here's a great audio that can really help you in your life. I think I sent him Conceive, Believe, Achieve. Because I sent him that audio, he now immediately went from not interested to wanting to meet up to hear more about what we were doing. Why? Because he didn't even listen to the audio. He said, how do you know the name David Imonitie? I said, well, that's one of our mentors inside of the business. He said, well, what a coincidence. I've been listening to him for the last year and a half. I don't even know necessarily what he does, but I heard him in a video and I was really attracted to what it was that he did. So the guy didn't care necessarily about the business that we were in, about the product that we had, but because of the people that we were connected to, he wanted to be in that same room, right? So there's going to be connections that open doors. There's going to be partnerships that you get, right? You never know who in your business is going to open the door to a prospect that you might be trying to talk to, right? And, I see a lot of people they're ready to launch here in the business, right? And I heard this a while ago from a GOAT in this industry, also somebody connected to David from Bass Grant. He said, look, now we say launch, right? When we say launch, we talking about, right? When a rocket takes off, when a rocket takes off, it needs a lot of oomph. It needs a lot of power, right? So when we talking about launching, we're talking about a word called influence, right? In order to launch, you need influence. So what is influence? What is influence? Somebody drop in the chat. What is influence? Right? What is influence? And you know, we love to look at things up. Leadership. Okay, I like that. Influence is leadership. What else is influence? The ability to attract. Okay. Passion, impact. I love all of those. I love each and every single one of those. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pull up Google. You know, we love to do words definitions. But let's just read the first three, right? The capacity to have an effect on the character, the development, or behavior of someone or something, or the effect itself. And I'm gonna go to this definition right here. Shorter way of saying it: a person or thing with the capacity or power to have an effect on someone or something. So influence means somebody or something needs to be moved by you. So when we say who's ready to launch, you can't launch if you can't get 5 to 7 people to move on your word. If nobody's moving based off of the words that you're speaking, then you can't launch, because the definition of launch is influence. And the definition of influence is having an effect on the behavior of someone else. So for you to launch, somebody has to want to be in partnership with you. Somebody has to want to move when you say jump, right? Right? So we're going to get into how to get that influence. That's what we're about to go over. We're about to go over the skills, right? Because you might not right today have the influence for somebody to say, get them on the phone, right? Some people, hey, look, I hit P150, P600, P1000, whatever, because I picked up the phone, because I called a lot of people, right? You had some level of influence where people move on your word, right? Now, I personally feel like everybody has some level of influence with somebody, right? Sometimes what happens is you don't call the people you have influence over. You call the people you think you have influence over who really don't care, right? So that's part of it, right? So you thought you had influence over them, you called them, they said no, and now you sad because the person you thought you had influence over really had influence over you. And if they would have called you, you would have said yes. But because you called them and they said no, now you're sad because you realize that they're actually the one with the power. But if you don't have that influence right now, understand that influence can grow, right? And it's okay. You can grow influence. And that's the beautiful thing about what it is that we're talking about. If you don't have it right now, it's okay. You have access to the team launch, right? You can now use the resources, use the notability of other people, right? Maybe you can't get 5, 10, 20, 30 people on a call where you use your own influence. So what do? You get 2, 3 people on the team launch call. And now what do we have? 30, 40 people, 50, 100, 200 people on a call, right? So if you can't have your own launch, launch with the team. Launch with the person that brought you in. Launch with the community. And that's how you're going to get to that next level. So let's get into the skills so you're able to do that, right? So what are some of the skills of success? Well, first we got to understand that success is, and you know, we've seen this training a million times. They talked about it again at the I Believe experience, but maybe it's your first time seeing this. So I'm going to act like it's your first time. We got to understand that success is 90 to 99. Hold on, we're gonna use we might as well use the whiteboard, right? Let's use the whiteboard. Success is what? Let's do this. Boom. This only gonna be up for 2 seconds, so it's cool. Success is 90 to 99% what? Spiritual, right? And it's 1 to 10% physical. Boom. Oh, look at the beautiful keypad drawing. Look at the beautiful keypad drawing. So we got spiritual, spirit, SPIRITUS, spiritual. We got physical. All right, so what are some of the things in these categories? So on the spiritual side, you have your thoughts, you got words, you got images, you got emotions, you got your dreams, you got all these different things on that side. On the physical side, what do you have? This is the how-to, right? This is the how-to. This is what we're going to go over a lot of today. This is the technique and how you're doing what you're doing. This is the strategy that you decide to use. Strategy. There we go. What else? We got this, the work, the skills, the action, right? All of that different type of stuff is on the physical side. Take a screenshot of this. You definitely want to make sure you take a screenshot of this. And once we understand this right here, this is what's going to help you get to the next level, because now you understand that if I'm saying the right things, we're not going to go too much into the spiritual side, but we definitely got to go into the spiritual side, right? What am I thinking about all day long? What are the words that I'm speaking, right? And you actually kind of got to go here, because let me go back to the definition of influence. The capacity to have an effect on the character development or behavior of someone or something or the effect itself. How can I have an effect on someone based on the words that I'm speaking, right? The emotions that I have, because if emotions are transferable, don't my emotions matter if I'm trying to have an effect on somebody? If I'm trying to influence somebody, doesn't the things that I'm seeing matter? If somebody came to you, well, we'll go over there on the physical side. But the words, they really matter. The words that you're speaking, the emotions that you have do matter, because when you go to try to influence somebody, right, the how-to is kind of important, but if you speak in the right things, right, with the right emotions, this part not necessarily so much, right? That's why it says 1 to 10%. It's probably closer to 10% when you talk to somebody you probably don't know, right? But still that emotion, all those things come out. But let's go into, where are we at? There we go. Let's go into the activity. So write this down. You don't attract what you are. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. Let me say that again. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. So we talked about influence. We talked about wanting to launch. So if you haven't hit, let's say, platinum 150, 2 and 3, platinum 600, it's okay, because we're going to learn how to do that. It does take consistent work, but the people that you're attracting now are based on your current level of awareness. It's based on what you currently believe that you can even attract. If you're struggling attracting people, it's because you think that you're struggling attracting people. So you approach people like you're struggling attracting people, and you're not confident that they're going to get started. You're not confident that you even believe in what you say, right? You're not confident that you can have success in what it is that you're doing. Therefore, you have no influence over them, because you don't have influence over yourself to believe that you actually have influence. So that's the first part, right? Next is your confidence is only a result of your competence, right? And what is competence? That's just being good at something, okay? So I want you to think about this. If we go outside, right, and we playing basketball, and we're shooting free throws, right? We're shooting free throws. You may or may not have confidence that you can make a free throw. If I said, I'm going to give you 50 shots, you only need to make 1 out of 50, you got confidence. I don't care how bad you are. Most people on here have confidence that they can probably make 1 out of 50 shots. If I gave you the ball, you had to stand still and shoot free throws, right? Drop a 1 in the chat if you think if I gave you 50 shots from the free throw line that you can make at least 1 shot. Drop a number 1 in the chat if you think you can make at least 1 shot. Okay, cool. So you're confident that while looking at the basket, whether or not you play ball, that you can make 1 shot. But let me ask you this. If I said we're going to put a blindfold on you, you can't see, how confident now are you that you can make a shot? Drop a number 2 in the chat if if you're still confident that you can make a shot. If you're blindfolded, you don't even know where the hoop is at this point. Oh, y'all are confident y'all can make a blindfolded free throw? Oh, y'all good. Most people aren't confident. Most people blindfolded would not be confident. I hear you, Charles. I hear you, but you don't even know where the goal is. Listen, catch this, y'all. Catch this. When your eyes are open, you know how far the basket is. You can assess every shot that you missed along the way. And you can even get lucky and get a bounce. When your eyes are closed, you have a blindfold on. You don't even know where the basket is. I didn't take you to the free throw line and put a blindfold on you. You don't even know where the basket is. I could even be standing there telling you, yeah, you're close. You could be hitting all out left field. You might hit the back. You can't even see if you're making progress, right? Well, that's the point. You're blindfolded. You can't see. When you're looking at what you're doing, you can get better. When you can't see, air ball, you might even hit the rim one time, but guess what? You got to be so in tune with yourself to hit that same stroke to even get it back in the same realm. You can't even tell what you messed up on, right? So every time you miss when you're blindfolded, your confidence goes down. Catch this. At the convention, they were spinning a wheel, right? It was a guy, he got the watch, and it kept landing on the same thing. Now, I still think the wheel was a little bit off balance or something. But either way, he had to keep spinning. He had to keep spinning and have complete faith that it was going to land on what he wanted to land on, no matter how many times he spun it. He said, I don't care if I had to spin this thing 100 times, I'm getting that Rolex watch. And he got the watch, right? It kept landing on the thing that somebody already got, but he kept spinning, and it made it there, right? When your eyes are open, in that free throw example, every shot you take, you know exactly what's happening. You know exactly what you can fix. Even if you're not the best shooter, you're getting confidence because you see what's working and what's not working. When you're blindfolded, you can't see what's working. You can't see what's not working. You might be able to hear if you hit the rim or something like that. Okay, that was close. But every time you miss when you're blindfolded, there's no correction. There's no mentorship. You're out there by yourself. It's a shot. You hear the ball hit the ground. I wonder how close that was. And that's how some people prospect. That's how some of you go out there with the skills. You'll talk to somebody, but you didn't tell your mentor what you said to them. You didn't say how that conversation went. You didn't get any feedback on that interaction. So you have another interaction And now you're 50 people in and you're wondering, why is everybody saying no? You don't know what you did right or wrong. You have nobody to correct your shot. You're shooting in the dark. You're making adjustments, but your adjustments are based on your experience, and your experience is you've never signed anybody up. And since you never signed anybody up, you're correcting something that you already don't know how to do. Wouldn't it be a lot easier for the coach to tell you exactly where to go, how to do it? I'm not saying it's going to work the first time, but I'm saying you're going to have a lot more accuracy, a lot more confidence in taking the next shot. If you just miss 49 out of 50 shots blindfolded, probably by the time you get to shot number 20 or 30, you don't even care. This is probably you. If you blindfolded, you probably just throwing shots up. Man, it might hit. It's the same thing as you trying. Ain't no point in trying to get perfect form because you don't even know where you're shooting at. That's what people do in the business, right? They act like they're blindfolded. So it didn't work the first day. I'll post a little bit. I'll just copy and paste what everybody else posted. I know they said make a video. I know they said go live, but I'm gonna just put this quote on my Facebook page, right? I know they said go live, but I'm gonna repost David's live. I'm gonna repost Charles live. I'm gonna repost Javon's live. I'm gonna repost Paris live. I know they said make a YouTube video, but I'm gonna go sit down and watch videos all day long and see what other people are doing. And then I'm gonna get disappointed because I can't make videos like them when the assignment was never watch somebody else. The assignment was to go. The assignment was to go. But you're sitting back and watching. I mean, we could do a whole sermon on go, but God said go. we could do a whole preaching on that, but I want you guys, let me give you a different perspective. We'll use a maze or a road. If you think about a maze, if you're inside a maze and you focus on every twist and turn you're taking, rather than the directions that we're giving, you're going to be frustrated every single time. If any of you were here, shout out to my people that was here when we had real maps, right? When we had real maps. When you had to pull out a map and that thing was huge, you had to open that whole thing up. It took up all the space in the car, right? It was frustrating, and it still is sometimes. Anybody ever been in the car with somebody that's telling them directions on where to go, and you feel frustrated because you feel like they're not telling you the right way? You told me to turn too late. Why you ain't tell me to get in that lane? Or you say, I know where I'm going. I'm gonna go this way, that way, the other, right? And any of y'all ever been in that situation, been in the car with somebody that knows where they're going or gets frustrated when you tell them directions? Or maybe you're that person, right? Maybe you're that person. But when you put on the GPS, guess what happens? Nobody's arguing with the GPS. You put the GPS on, you can sit back and be quiet. They can miss their whole turn. And the GPS, what does it do? It reroutes. The GPS don't get mad. The GPS don't do nothing else. Even if they decide not to listen to the GPS, guess what? They don't get mad at the GPS that is telling them to go a different way. Right? You say your mom argues with the GPS. But nobody, for the most part, gets mad at the GPS when you're driving. Because even if it don't tell you the way you want to go, you go the way that you personally want to go. If the GPS says make a right and you go straight, what does GPS do? Rerouting. And it always is going to tell you how to get to where it is that you want to go. Always. But when it reroutes you, guess what? You now have to make the decision. Am I going to follow the GPS? GPS reroutes. It says, all right, make the next left. Then we're going to go this way. You say, I don't want to make that next left. The GPS doesn't get mad. You pass that left. The GPS says rerouting. It says, all right, keep straight until you get to so-and-so. And you know what happens? Some of y'all, I've used this before. Some people will drive until the GPS tells them what they want the GPS to tell them. I still don't get it. It don't make sense. But some of you will drive until the GPS tells you what you want it to tell you. The GPS said to take this highway right here. You say, I don't like taking that highway. I'm going this way. It's faster. You go this way. The GPS don't got no feelings. The GPS don't got no feelings. You go to you take your own route. And exactly. You take your own route. The GPS says, okay, I'm going to take you the way that you want to go. Eventually it says, we're going to go the way you want to go. But then what happens? You run into traffic. You run into a road closed sign. You run into some construction. And now the GPS says, look, the GPS don't get mad, y'all. It don't get mad. The GPS, imagine the GPS like that loving person. They say, look, I know you ran into a barrier because you wanted to do things your own way. But it has a little pop-up. It says, I know a faster route. If you want to cut an hour off of this drive, make the next right. So it already told you where to go. It already told you where to go. You ignored it. Then it told you what you wanted it to tell you, but now you don't like the time that's going to take you to get there. But now you got to make a decision. Am I going to listen and take this shorter route? Or am I going to be stubborn and stay on this long road? The GPS saying you can get there this way. It's just going to take a little bit longer, right? You might be on this road for a couple extra hours. You might need to fill your gas tank up. You might need to go use the bathroom. You might need to do some extra things, right? But I say that because you hear this a lot. We're not here to make extra money. If you're here to make extra money, can we all agree that Lyft, Uber, Airbnb, and so many other things out there, a second job, are all ways to make extra money? Can we agree on that? We're here because we have mentorship and we have guidance, AKA that GPS, which is the shortcut to success. So you got to ask yourself, who is mentoring me? Who's my GPS to success? Right? If you Google that, trading doesn't come up. Right. Trading definitely don't come up for extra money. There's a bunch more ways out there, less emotionally stressful ways, I'm sure, that you can go out and make some extra money. I'm sure there are. Like, I know there's a million ways. If that's all you're looking for, if you don't want mentorship, you don't want guidance, you don't want people who've already done it in front of you, there's other things out there for you, right? There's nobody here saying you got to do this. There's no dictators over here. But like the GPS, we're just that little extra nudge to put you in the right direction. So what are some of the skills that you need? You need to know how to talk to people, because how to talk to people is going to help you with your influence, right? Make sure you're reading books like, put it in front of my face, GoPro, right? Make sure you're reading books such as GoPro, right? And all the other books of the month that we've been on, right? But make sure you're inside the information, right? Write this down. Number one, write this down and take notes on it. You can put it in the chat too. Number one, how do you talk to people? Number one, you're going to make an interruption. Okay? Number one, make an interruption. Number two, deepen the conversation. Number three, make them aware. And number four, DTM. DTM. Number four is DTM. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Making an interruption. Let me see. I'm gonna let y'all unmute. Yeah, y'all can unmute. Okay, perfect. So somebody unmute and let me know what is making an interruption. Who knows what making an interruption is?
Like the definition of interruption, or
no, like
blah 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 blah. Just jumping in.
Just like cutting somebody off.
Yeah, so it's a conscious interruption in whatever it is that's happening in their life right now. So let me give you an example. And I know we had some people that was at the event, right? Actually, yeah, somebody that was at the event. Give me an example of an interruption that was made. For example, like when we were out to eat, right? So we're out to eat. What's a way to make an interruption into somebody's day? Let me see if any of y'all are available to unmute. Compliment.
Just by saying, excuse me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Just by saying, excuse me. Like getting their attention like that.
Yeah, so getting their attention, right? So some people dropped in the chat like a compliment. So perfect example, you're sitting down. Let's say you're at a restaurant, you're eating, giving a compliment to somebody that's walking by. If you're at a mall, right? Simply saying, excuse me, right? It's pardon me, right? I'm different. I don't listen. My interruptions are however I'm feeling in the moment. It don't matter how you do it. You perfect your way of interrupting, but make an interruption, right? Somebody's walking past, they doing their day-to-day job. Excuse me, I really like how you do your job. Can I ask you a question? Is this, well, let's go into number two. Deepen the conversation. How do you deepen the conversation? Form. Write down form. FORM. We're talking about family, occupation, recreation, motivation. Okay? That's what form stands for. So deepening the conversation means after you make that interruption, find one or more than one of those things to actually take the conversation to a different level. Andre put it in the chat. Well, okay, perfect. So somebody said a compliment, excuse me, and then Andre said those are really dope shoes. So we'll just go with that. Somebody's walking by, you've seen them come by a couple times. You say, excuse me, hey, those are some really dope shoes. Where'd you get those from? Right? They're gonna say where they got the shoes from. Now, once they tell you where they got their shoes from, you're gonna now deepen that conversation. Now, depending on where it is that you are, is gonna depend on how long or short that conversation is gonna be, right? But hey, those are really dope shoes. Hey, I got them from the store down the street at the local mall. Awesome. Hey, I really like that. How long you been working here? Right? Now we're getting into occupation. How long you been working here? Oh, I've been here for 2 months. Awesome. Do you love it? Is this your passion? What do you like to do? Oh, well, I'm in here for a couple months, but I'm just saving up money because I want to do X, Y, and Z. Awesome. Now you're number 3, make them aware. How do you make them aware? Well, look, that sounds really good. I see you are an aspiring artist. You're looking for a way to really, create that financial freedom for yourself so you can go pursue your dreams. Perfect, right? I have a way, I have something that might be able to help with that. I'm not sure if it's for you, but let's exchange information and I'll send the information over, right? What's your Instagram? What's your phone number? What's your Instagram, right? You just made an interruption in their day. You connected with them by deepening that conversation, and you made them aware that you have a solution to something it is that's really going to help them, right? Hey, shout out to Chanel. She said, I asked, when was the last time you took a vacation? You're working very hard. She did that at the airport to somebody while she was getting ready for her flight, right? It works no matter where it is that you are. And then after making them aware, number 4 is DTM. DTM stands for drop the message. Drop the message, right? Now, you might not be in the moment right there with them saying, hey, well, look, I'm trading in the largest, most liquid financial market, and I want to show you how to do it, right? But drop the message is going to come because you deepen the conversation, because you made them aware that you have something for them. Now that message is, hey, look, I'm connected to some really amazing people. And yeah, it's drop the message, y'all. I'm connected to some really amazing people. And, you know, I love to get you in connection with them. You know, maybe this is something that might be for you, right? And there's a bunch of ways we can go about doing that. But the most important thing is that you actually connected with them. You got somebody's new information, right? And now you can use that connection. You might not always drop the message right then, right? These don't all have to be done in the first 5 minutes of meeting somebody, because every conversation is going to be a little bit different. And I really want you guys to understand that every conversation's going to be a little bit different. But knowing that, right? Knowing that there's right and there's wrong ways to drop the message. But the whole point is you want to make sure that you do drop the message. If you don't do it in that moment, if all you got was their information, perfect. You did your job. When you follow up with them later that evening, the next day, 2 days later, right? Whenever you said you were going to follow up with them, and then now you'll have another chance to connect, to figure out what the problem is, and then go ahead and drop that message on them. And I thought this was actually powerful. Let me see if I can actually find it. From the event, Dr. Darius Daniels did an amazing job. He actually had another form of this. He said, casting vision. So you can use this as well. I like what I just went over, right? I really, 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 really like those 4. Making an interruption, deepen the conversation, make them aware of what you do. That's going to allow you to be able to drop the message. And now you're providing a solution, right? You're providing a solution or an opportunity for them. Another way this was put by Dr. Darius Daniels, he did an amazing job. He said how to cast. And you can write these 3 down as well. He said cast the problem, cast the possibility, cast the path, right? You're casting the problem, casting the possibility, and casting the path. And I love the example he used. Now, this would be more so, obviously you're using this, this would be like number 3 and 4 in what I just went over. But this specifically, though, in the way that he did it was how you would use it with somebody in your warm market, right? Somebody that you know personally by name. And let's go back through it. Cast the problem, cast the possibility, cast the path. So, hey, what's going, feel, felt, found, same thing, right? What's going on? And look, would you agree that, you know, who we got on here? I'm gonna use Paris, right? So me and Paris both run track, right? So I'm saying, hey, Paris, would you agree that track athletes don't get paid enough? Yeah, bro, man. I wish they would pay a lot more, right? Like they don't give us enough to support us in this industry. Most of us have to go get a second job. Most of us have to do X, Y, and Z in order to support our dreams and goals, just like a lot of people in a lot of different industries, right? Cool. Wouldn't it be great if there was a way for us to make enough money, if not more than enough money, to support our dreams and goals so we didn't have to worry about working all day long? Yeah, man, that would be great. You know what? If I found a way to be able to do that, I would really need your help in spreading this word, and not only freeing us, but anybody that might, you know, have these same problems. Hey, that'd be great. So if I found a way, is that something you would want to know more about? Like, would you be in on a way to be able to make money from home and really pursue our dreams? Because I know that's something that we've both been thinking about for a while. Yeah, man, I really love that. Why? You got something in mind? I got the perfect thing. Right? You just had a conversation. You made a conscious interruption in their day by casting a problem that you know that you both struggle with, or you know that they struggle with. You deepen that conversation with the possibility of a solution and made them aware that you have something that can really take care of that. Would you like to do this with me? Drop the message, right? Would you like to do this with me? And that's how you can deepen your influence. Even if you feel like you didn't have that influence before, sometimes it's just the way that you approach the conversation with people, right? Having the right type of conversation can really move you from the left side, where you feel like nobody's getting started, to the right side. Now, you're still going to get frustrated because people are still going to tell you no. Let me preface this by, people are still going to tell you no. Not everyone is going to say, that's amazing, let's go ahead and take this thing to the next level, right? But you're going to get a lot more yeses than nos doing it that way, right? You're going to get a lot more yeses than nos. You're going to have a lot more people in your network now that want to share with other people. You're going to have a lot more people that you can follow up with if they don't get started today, right? Everything we're talking about here it's not about hard work. It's really not about hard work, but it does take consistent work. And that's where most people fall off, right? So you got to make a decision that you're going to be one of those individuals that's consistent, right? You got to make sure you're having the right conversations. You're developing the skills that you need, right? Because the skills, while they might seem simple, one thing I heard David say is he studies belief. I know sometimes we hear that, but he studies this stuff, right? That means the same way we study Go Live, we study networking, we study whatever it is, he studies this industry. These calls are great, but the only reason I can do these calls is because I study the profession. I study the professionals, right? I study people who've had success in this industry. I've been privy to be at the feet of many people who've made multiple 6 and 7 figures in this industry. So when I study, I'm studying people with results. I'm not coming with what I think works. I'm coming with what's been proven to work. When Charles comes with what he does as far as building the business, that's from years of experience. When Paris gives you the sauce on how to take things to the next level on online marketing, that's because he's had years of experience and the dollars to show, right? So until you get to that point, we got to say, okay, I need to consistently do these few things. And actually I want to go there. The things that you're learning right now, all this information, right? We just got to how to invite, right? We basically just got to how to invite and ask somebody to get started with you. And you know the beautiful thing about drop the message after you do it that way, they might not have even seen a presentation and they're ready to swipe their card. You doing it the right way, they don't really even need to see the they're like, I was looking for a way to. You got that? Yeah. Let's go ahead and run this thing up. All right, cool. So what is it again? If you cast, I promise you, if you cast in the vision the right way, they're gonna be like, all right, let's go ahead and wait, what am I signing up for? What am I doing? When you watch that title, I promise you, title could have been title could have been a water park. But the way that Jay-Z launched that thing, they all would have been like, wait, a water park for artists? Okay, Jay-Z, he really thought this thing out. Like, it didn't matter what title was. He could have been like, yo, we gonna play y'all music at this water park. I promise y'all, he still would have had the same buy-in. It's not about the product. David made his first millions of dollars selling coffee. Trust me, y'all, it ain't about the product. I promise you it's not about the product. How are you connecting with people? How are you casting the vision? And are you casting based on what's something that's actually going to help that person where they can see it for themselves? Right? I promise it don't matter what you're doing. It really doesn't matter. There was people that was on stage, and I thought it was amazing that he brought people from other industries, people that do a bunch of other things. They all said the same thing. Big Sean, same thing. Michelle, same thing. Dr. Darius Daniels, same thing. Twyla Portis, shout out to Twyla Portis. Hey, she went in. Same thing. Don't matter where you are. Don't matter what you got. As long as it's legal, as long as it's something that can truly give the impact it is that you're saying, it takes that consistent work. Do a little and do it often. Do a little and do it often. If you're not at the point, I can't do 10 presentations a week. This business is just too much. Do 4. Do 4. 30 minutes times 4. It really was, Paris. That really was. That's why I embodied that. 30 minutes times 4 is 2 hours. Do you have 2 hours of your week to build your business? Let me take that back. Do you have 2 hours of your week to change your life? Yes or yes? Can you find 2 hours in your week to change your life? And I say 2 hours because you might be really, really, really busy. I promise you the most busiest person has 2 hours. I don't care if you had to schedule out 2 hours, you doing presentations back to back to back like we doing blitz calls. You got 2 hours in some way, shape, or form. But it's about, do you really want it? Right? Do you really want it? Because to build a successful business, you need some legs, right? You got to build some legs in your business in order to get paid. What are those legs? I don't know how long y'all been here. Dropping, y'all don't know this. Write this down. Legs stand for learn, earn, and grow. Legs stand for learn, earn, and grow. Okay? So learn, that's that advocate, right? You got to be coachable. You got to be teachable. In order to have good legs in your business, if you want legs that's going to generate you some money, you got to make sure you're being teachable and coachable each and every single day, not just some of the time, but all the time. You got to practice humility in what it is that you're actually doing. Who are you modeling after? We talked about this earlier. Who's the person that you're following that's going to help you reach the success it is that you truly want, right? What are the 3 Ps? Drop the 3 Ps in the chat. See if y'all know. Drop the 3 Ps in the chat. There we go. Prospect, present, and promote. That's what you got to do every single day. Prospect, thank you, Christian. Prospect, present, promote. Prospect, present, promote. That's what you got to do in order to really get this thing going. You got to learn these skills that we're talking about right now. What's the E? E is earn. That's the asset. That's what's going to feed what you're doing. You got to get a result with what it is that we're talking about. How do you get a result? Plugging in, right? The G is growing. Are you growing each and every single day? Actually, you know what? Charles asked me to do this. He been asking me to do this. I'm gonna pull this up. Charles, I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull up the I know you've been asking for this, so I'm gonna pull up the 5 pillars. Because it actually goes with the 3 with legs. Hold on, give me a second. Let me get this thing loaded. We gonna go to 5 pillars and we're gonna get out of here, all right? So Actually, yeah, I'm gonna go over these three things. These three things right here. Boom, boom, boom. All right, how do I do this? Because the way this is set up, all right, it's just gonna make me edit it. All right, bet. Here we go. Boom. 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 All right, cool. 5 pillars of chairman. Let's make this a little bit smaller. Bet. 5 pillars of chairman. Number 1, plug in and get results. Plug in and get results. Just take a screenshot. You don't gotta take a screenshot. Plug in and get results. You want to make sure you know the schedule and you become a product of the product. Okay? What's the schedule? When am I doing whatever it is I'm doing? Do I have my calendar? Put it in front of me. Do I have my calendar, right? Is my calendar filled out? If you're doing this thing part-time, 4 presentations a week, when are you doing the 4 presentations a week? When are you going live? What are you going live about? Okay. Number 2, elite trainings, leadership trainings, believe bigger, faster, the just run call, these calls, right? But also as you're growing as a leader, what do you need to be doing? Hosting your own trainings. Host your trainings, right? What trainings can you plug into? Well, the company does trainings. There's training. Hey, if you don't know, there is an entire mindset channel inside Go Live. Bob Proctor, the Master Mentor series, brings up the top chairman and talks about it every single Thursday. My guy, Words Taylor, a GOAT in his industry as well, works with E.T. Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher. He's on the platform. He comes with your package. He's on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings at 10 a.m. teaching you how to build a successful business, teaching you the mindset. You paid for this. It's inside of your academy. If you don't know, it's okay. Now you know, right? Now you know, you paid for it. Go back, rewatch his stuff. Hop on. Yeah, Words Taylor's lit. Number 3, prospecting. Are you posting? Are you liking people's content? Are you commenting every single day? Are you following people on a consistent basis? Because in order to make new friends, you got to follow new people. In order for you to get new prospects, people got to be following you. Nobody's going to follow you if you're not following nobody else. If you don't got 5, 10, 20,000 followers already, nobody just coming to hop on your page to follow. You got to start following people. You'll get to a point where people just start following you because you're so lit, you so popping. Trust me, if you're not at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000 followers right now, nobody just looking for your page. Trust me, nobody just looking for your page. This is on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever websites y'all use. If your Facebook is full, hey, shout out to Chanel, right? She said she's maxed out on Facebook. Look, make a new Facebook. I got 2 Facebooks. I think Paris got like 3 Facebooks. Start over. Hey, and shout out to Christian. Got one of his videos went viral on, was it TikTok, bro? I don't know if it was TikTok or if it was Instagram. Had like 1 million views on it. Let's go, Christian. Number 4, share the plan and 3-way calls. You got to constantly expose this business, but I underline this right here. Close with a mentor. Don't try to do it by yourself. Because again, you're not that popping yet. And that's okay. You're learning. And then number 5 is phone work. You got to pick up the phone, not only call your prospects, but also make sure you're checking in with your team. Make sure everybody's doing what they need to do, right? And you're not a manager. You're not making sure they're doing what they need to do. You're checking on them, making sure that they know what they need to do to accomplish their goals, right? Because trust me, you could ask somebody, be like, you trading going all right? You doing good? They'd be like, yeah, it's going good. Have you made money? Have you made money? No, I haven't made no money. Okay. What educator you following? What product hold on. Embody Paris, have you finished the academy? What's your percentage in the academy? Look, if they tell you I only watched the 100 and 200 series, all right, look, let's pause what you're doing right now. Let's go back and finish that academy. Let's finish the academy first. Let's go back through the basics. And look, inside of the academy, when you log in and go live, what does it say? Spend your first 2 to 4 weeks with the basics educators. If you never spent, and I know sometimes we get a little bit lost. If you haven't spent 2 to 4 weeks with the basics educators, right? Start over. Go back, spend time with the basics educators. I promise you, Skittles will make 1,000 times more sense when you go through the academy. I promise you. Spend some time with the basics educators. I promise you the information that you're getting over here is going to make 1,000 times more sense. We are here as a crutch. We're here as a bonus resource to help take what it is that you're learning to another level, to make it simpler for you to get results. But if you don't do the basic work, you'll look at skills and be like, I mean, that's easy, but I'm losing. You don't understand what was going over in the 100 and 200 series, so it looks hard. You're missing some key things that you should be doing, right? But those key things are only found inside of the academy that you pay for. Charles just said it. He still goes through the academy. I still go through the academy. I've been tapped in with Manny Quinones. He redid his Academy Basics Bootcamp. The voice of it, for those of you that's been here, right? The voice of the academy, the guy who does most of the videos with Christopher Terry, he made an 8-video bootcamp that goes over the videos that you just watched to make sure you understood what it was that you just watched. I think that's a great resource, right? He just redid it. Let's go back. Let's go to the next level, right? This is basically a daily method of operation, right? Y'all already have this. But this right here, important skills of building. Prospecting. This is the last thing I'm going to do. Prospecting. Number one, what is prospecting? Is finding people to talk to, whether it's social media, friends, family. Trust me, you want to build that list. Number two is your invite. Finding people to get in front of the information. How do you get people in front of the information? I just went over it earlier, right? You got to have an exaggerative statement. What is an exaggerative statement? An interruption, right? It's an interruption. Edify the webinar that you're going to be on. Number three is following up. The fortune is in the follow-up. Get them on a 3-way phone call. Feel, felt, found, right? I feel where you're coming from. I felt the same way. Here's what I found out. But you're not doing it by yourself because you're getting them on with a mentor. Number four is closing. Always assume the close. Always assume that they want to get started with you because they see the value in making money from their cell phone. They see the value in this compensation plan. They see the value in impacting other people's lives. It's funny. I got a friend for the last couple of years, right? She knew about a business, got started with it, bunch of stuff, but she has her own business. And one of the things she said when I first told her about the business was, I like it, it's cool, but I want to help people. Okay, cool. Like that. Me too. I want to help people too. She said, but y'all do a lot of talking about money. And I don't really care about money. I said, you don't care about money? I said, I'm like, that don't make no sense, but okay. It doesn't make sense, but okay. Why doesn't it make sense? Because you need money to help people. You need money to help your kids. You care about your kid, right? Yeah. Okay. But don't you got to pay for their bills and stuff? You need money. I'm not saying it's the most important thing, but you need it, right? Fast forward, got a call. And it's like, you know what? My business is doing really well. You know, things are going good. I'm ready to get back to trading, this, that, the third. And, you know, I found out over the last couple months, I really like money. Oh, okay. Yeah. Because you can't have a successful business if you're not making money. You can't help the people you want with your business if your business ain't making money. Trust me, y'all. Everybody likes money. That's why we went over the first part in how to talk to the people about the money. Because while it's about the money, not everybody's money motivated. Not everybody's right. We got to understand that. And so that's why I talk to people using the stuff that we just used. Because for some people, they'll be like, money, money, money. And they'll look and they'll be like, I don't want money. Like, you do. But what do you want? What do you want that the money will help? Let's keep going. Number 5, launching. 72-hour fast start, your proper launch. We do the beginner setups every Tuesday and Thursday, right? Jane said, I heard that before. Ex-convict said the same thing to get young kings off the street. Exactly. Money's currency. You got to keep moving. Number 6, presenting. Master how to present your opportunity so you can see momentum in your business at any time. If you know how to communicate the vision, if you know how to communicate what it is that we're doing, if you're going through the presentation, I promise it will get 1,000,000 times easier when you're having regular conversations because you know how to communicate. And number 7 is commitment, right? Well, I definitely spelled something wrong. Master, there we go. Yeah, hold on. Master the art of decision-making and helping others commit to their goals, right? Master the art of decision-making and helping others commit to their goals. What is that, y'all? Influence. Isn't that what we started by talking about? Influence. Mastered. You got to first make a decision, and then you can help other people make a decision, right? This is some things that we went over earlier in prospecting, right? Just some different examples of how you can have these conversations. Hey, how are you? I love your Instagram, right? I love to connect with you on a business level. That's an interruption, right? Use form somewhere in that. But have you heard of high frequency exchange? Have you heard of Forex? Have you heard of Bitcoin? Right? Most of the time it's either a no or, yeah, I heard of it. Are you making money with it? Well, no. Cool. I'd like to invite you to my private webinar. Got a business partner hosting today at 2:00, going over exactly what it is that we do. There's limited spots. Shoot me your information. We can go ahead and get you locked in. Just always make sure whatever you're doing, follow up with people, y'all. Just make sure you're following up. Everything you got going on, like this, trust me, this stuff is so easy. You know what? Y'all, what time is it? Y'all, I got 3 minutes. Y'all. Do I have 3 minutes? All right, look at this. Expectations. You want to build your foundation first. Out of everything we just went over, understand that what we're doing is not just a sign-up game. Yes, you want a lot of people to sign up, but you don't only want them to sign up. Because if they sign up, but they don't understand everything we're talking about, the vision, they're going to be gone in 30 days. And it's cool to get 30, 40, 50, 100 people, but if they all gone in 30, 60 days, what was the point, right? You got to make sure you're the most important piece of your organization. And all that means is that you're setting the tone for your team. You're doing everything that we just talked about, your presentations throughout the week, because your team is going to do what it is that you're doing. So ask yourself, are you currently doing enough? If you've been here for 3, 6, 7, 8 months, right? If you finally got somebody to get started today, right? And they did everything that you do, would they be doing enough to go ahead and hit Platinum 150 their first 72 hours? Ask yourself that question. If you sign somebody up today and they do only what you're doing right now, would you expect them to get their 2 and free, their Platinum 150, their Platinum 600, their first 72 hours, 7 days, their first month? Would you expect them to hit those numbers? Your foundation is built on your work ethic and willingness to learn. So ask yourself, do you care more about Netflix, hanging out, sleeping in, or more about being successful and retiring your family? That's the first part. Second, 10-10-10 rule. Y'all, we talked earlier about using social media. Are you posting to get likes, or are you posting to get results? Are you posting to get likes, or are you posting to get results? Make sure you're posting with an intention, because otherwise you're not using the platforms the right way. Make sure you're calling people on your team, right? When you get a team, if you have more than 10 people on your team, call the people, right? Pick up the phone. If we can't be in person, just like we were just at the event, in between events, you got to make sure you're having those conversations with individuals. And then obviously share the plan. We talk about going chairman. We talk about getting to that platinum 1000, getting to those bigger ranks. You got to be talking to a minimum of 10 people. Make sure you're getting them in front of the information. We just talked about this. Make sure you're sharing the plan, because the only way you're going to get to your next rank is sharing this information. Not every other day. You got to be doing it consistently, right? How do you hit your numbers? You got to first have a goal for what it is that you're doing. What's your goal for the day? What's your goal for the week? Prospect 25 people a day, right? Does that mean everybody sees a presentation a day? No, that means you talk to 25 people. If we was back in the old day, if we was back in David's day, you know, they said 2 or 3 people because they actually had to go outside and see these people. They said 2 or 3 new people because to meet 2 to 3 new people, they had to go and find 2 to 3 new people at the coffee shop, at the wherever they were. When we say 25 new people, all you got to do is go on Instagram and hit follow. You got to take 5 minutes, go on Instagram. Hey, make sure y'all go and follow, rewatch Paris's video on building your business through social media. You just got to go hit follow. Make sure you're following the right pages. Like follow Bob Proctor, follow all those different people. There's people that follow them. That's I think Chanel said it earlier in the chat that she's known of David for 10 years, right? So that was somebody that knew about this type of information, maybe just didn't know about this business. You can find those people online, right? Invite people to daily op calls, right? That says op calls. There we go, opportunity calls. Contact your mentors every single day. That's how you're going to know if you're doing the right stuff, if you're on the right track. And then make sure you're doing your hour of personal development. Personal development. What's that? The book of the month, the audios of the month, right? The audios at the bottom of your 72-hour fast start, Think and Grow Rich, all that other type of stuff. I will probably drop these in the chat. Take a screenshot though for right now. 3 types of people in your business. Number 1, you got customers. These are people that really just want to learn trading. You actually need customers. Yes, we want everybody to build, but if everybody said activate on IBO package right now, you wouldn't be in rank. So you actually do need customers as much as we love building, right? Money makers. This is somebody who's already started and they're leveraging the systems and learning from what it is that we have. They're on go live on a regular basis, right? They're seeing success and getting results from the system, right? And then you got your builders, right? The goal is to turn a customer into a money maker. How do you turn a customer into a money maker? Getting them plugged in. Because if they don't plug in, they won't make money. If they're not making money, they're going to go what? Inactive, because they're not learning. They're not growing. Get them plugged into the mentorship. Get them plugged in to the leadership. Get them plugged into the products that they paid for. Then they become a money maker. Use that to grow them into what? A builder. This is somebody who wants to create an impact and put other people in a position to win, just like they've done and are doing for themselves, right? These are the people that do all the rest of this stuff that we're talking about. If you're not doing all this, you're not a builder yet. And that's okay, because you can grow to be a builder, right? You can turn into an influencer. You can turn into a builder. So make sure that, number one, if you're just a customer right now, let's get you to making some money. Share your story on the opportunity calls. Share with different individuals. You grow into a builder. We got some people that come in with the builder mentality. We gonna rock with you. We gonna run with you. But not everybody does. So we're gonna grow you into that person by helping you make money. Everybody on here, I think, for the most part, probably already is in that category of being a builder or having that builder mindset. If you got somebody that's not there yet, help them make some money and drop that message again. Look, I see you had a big day trading. You trying to share your story on the opportunity call? Hey, look, I got somebody. All right, last thing I promise. We was out to eat when we was out there in Orlando. I made an interruption with one of the people, right, that was walking by. Hold on, where we at? There we go. Made an interruption, right? That was the first thing I did. And a lot of y'all actually saw this, for the people that was there. Y'all saw this in person. I deepened the conversation. How long you been working here? Is this what you like to do? I made them aware of what it is that I did, but I used other people's story. I stopped. Once they said that they didn't want to be there and they only been here for X number of months, the first thing I did, would you like to do something like this but make money from working at home? Cool. I turned to my right. I turned to my left. Nari, share your story. Jane, share your story. I stopped talking. Within literally, they getting on a call later. Within literally 30 seconds, they said, I'm interested. I don't have Instagram. Here's my number. Perfect. 5 minutes later, I show my phone to Paris. I get a message. The person is sitting 2 rows behind us. They were about to close. They're sitting, because they have influence, with 3 of their coworkers. Hey, my coworker is interested too. They don't even know what it is. At that point, they don't even know what it is. I want to make money from home. I want to have the success that these ladies just had. So do they. None of us want to work here. Get us all out. That's it, y'all. All right, I'm done. That's the Just Run call. That's how we're going to do this. So make sure you go out there. Look, take this training. You can rewatch it. But you took notes. Go and take action. Go live today. Go live on your social media. I don't care what it's about. It doesn't matter. Just go live. Go live and get your face out there. And I promise you, if you go live consistently for the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, you're going to see a tremendous shift in the results it is that you've been having. Once again, hey, I appreciate both of you. Hey, Mr. Kingdom Cash, Mr. Paris Simmons, definitely thank you for putting me in front today. Look, go out there. Let's have an amazing rest of the week. We got an opportunity call tomorrow, right? Today is Wednesday. Tomorrow at 8 o'clock, let's pack that call out. If you're not in a position to launch today, let's use the team launch to take you to the next level, right? And if you are in a position to influence, maybe you've been holding your influence back. Maybe you just ain't use your influence the way you know you got influence. Let's get you a personal launch call set up for the next 48 hours, and let's get this thing going. And if you're serious about it, I promise you, if you text me, Charles Paris, any of the leaders tonight, we'll run an opportunity call with you in the next hour. Let's set it up. Let's set it up, right? But that's all we got. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Next call is the morning motivation. Tomorrow morning, 11:30. Definitely make sure you're in attendance. Mr. Kingdom Cash, Charles Dyson will be doing the morning motivation. That's all we got. Appreciate each and every single one of y'all. Go hop in the academy. Go share the plan with somebody. Make some money. Share the information. Post your results in the Travelpreneurs group. Post your results in the